Hope that's good with all. So I want to welcome everybody to this online training for playing with Zoom as interplay leaders, embodied people. Thank you for coming, everybody. And I'm going to unspotlight myself and just show the whole group of you. So good to see your faces. Yeah, I see that you're from all over the country and from East Coast to West Coast. You might notice that there's arrows at the side of your screen if you've got it in the gallery view, seeing the whole quilt, and you can see people all the way onto the second page there. I'm going to spotlight and unmute. Agnati, would you unmute yourself? Yay, here's Agnati. Agnati is our development coordinator and also our millennial liaison. She does a lot of work online as well with our international art and social change community. And Agnati, I'm so grateful you're here to help. And I haven't answered your question yet about making you a co-host, but that could happen. I don't know. I just don't know what's going to happen. And then also I want to introduce everybody to my colleague, Nancy Pfaltzgraf, who has been, where are you? Unmuting yourself, and I'm going to spotlight you, Nancy.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, I'm so grateful to you, Nancy. Thank you so much for your quick stepping up. And Nancy and I both have been leading these online dance chapels, which is basically a place for using interplay movement and poetry and stillness and dancing on behalf of one another for the last number of years. And Nancy leads on Thursdays. And she's also led the interplay tools online with Sherry Bowman, who I see is in the room also. So these two folks are going to help me out today. And I may ask somebody else to help me out too if this gets any bigger, because at one point we're going to be doing breakout rooms so that you can have the experience of what that's like to be put into a smaller group. And also I'm going to be teaching you about how to use good sound quality on Zoom. And we're going to have a little bit of an experience of moving and playing together here online right at the beginning. So first, let's just go back to our being in our bodies in this incredible time that we're in. You might want to really feel your body and the earth and the ground. I'd love to invite you, if you're willing, to lean over and touch the ground, the floor, and the earth upon which we all are, the land that has been known and loved and is still known and loved by First Peoples, wherever we are. Let's just take a moment to honor that history and connection. Taking a deep breath. I know we're not supposed to be touching our faces, but we can touch our heads and our neck and our skin. One of the interplay body wisdoms is never underestimate a body's need for reassurance, and we're the handiest ones. So giving blessing to the skin and the nervous system right now, honoring and finding connection. Especially important for those of us who are more sensitive, coming back to our bodies. Yeah. I'm going to invite us to take a deep breath all together and let it out with a sigh. Beautiful. And you might like to join me for a moment. One of the things that we've been doing out of the wisdom of teaching the hand-to-hand dance, you know, when we raise our hand and across space to our partners, we still maintain that connection, and then we can drop it, right? Well, I like to use this InterPlay experience and image with a hand on my heart so that I'm connecting both out and in. I call this my iPhone. Yeah. And just see and feel the connections with this group across space. I love that Diane's using the moving hand, so it doesn't always have to be static. You can be in your hand just the way that's right. I like to bring my hand back to my heart. You'll do the right thing for you, collecting the blessings. I tend to send out a lot of energy, so it's really good to collect the blessing and receive from one another. Good. Let's take another deep breath. One of the secrets about online leading is that because it's technology, we tend to think we need to go fast, but counterintuitively, it's more important than ever to go slow and to leave pauses and stillness, radiant stillness. So to trust your body around that, I welcome that, and to leave spaciousness for our bodies to receive, even in this format. I'm going to put on some music, and we're going to lead us through the InterPlay warm-up, just as a demonstration of what it's like to be led. I will put myself as the main spotlight so you can see me in the quilt. And a lot of times in a smaller group, you might not need to do the whole gallery, or you might choose to have everybody showing up in a smaller group. A lot of times when I'm in places where people have a lot of InterPlay experience, and even our leaders, I trust them to the process of just moving as they wish. And I also invite, as I will invite you, people to rest, to stay in your chair if you need. You can also, I see that Lin Sun has closed her screen. If you are really not wanting to be viewed, you can stop your video at any time and rest that sense of being witnessed. There's lots of ways you can do what the main rule of InterPlay is, to take care of your own body in these spaces. So I'm gonna lead us in the InterPlay, a very kind of brief version of the warm-up, and then we'll proceed to learning more about this form of leading. I'm going to be leading music from an artist named Michael Hedges. This piece is called Aerial Boundaries. I'll put that in the chat box in a minute. Here we go. Like to stand? Shake a little. And twisting. Reaching up and down on one side and on the other, and on both sides. Opening just as big as you want, and wrap yourself up. Give yourself that reassurance. When we go down here towards the ground, bending over, you can nod your head yes or no. Whew. And rolling up and reaching again. Oh. and opening. Let's just reach through our chest and heart and pulling back. And we'll do that in 3 more directions to the whole world. Opening. Oh. And when you get to your back, last time, just squirm around. Just let yourself squirm. Twist. Good, and come down into your hips and take your hips around. And go the other way. And any way you want. And massage your feet and your hands, the articulating parts of you. And let that shake. Good. And let's just swing. You want to sweep out your space, clear out some of the stuff. Good, and flinging out some love or connection or power. And grabbing hold of your muscles, feeling the push and pull. Just feeling your strength. And keep that going. And letting that slow down into a smooth energy. Coming into the stillness of your bones and shapes. And breath. We'll take a minute just to move however your body needs, just to find your own way for these next moments. And coming slowly to some stillness with your breath, bringing one hand into the air, Moving your hands slow and smooth. The one breath songs of InterPlay, one breath after another, just letting your voice hum or move along with your hand, one hand or two. It's a good way to let the inner sound and soundings be known and provide their wisdom. So we'll take a deep breath and here we go. Bringing yourself to stillness. Bringing a hand to our heart and a hand to each other. It's connecting through space. You might look at these faces, some you know and some you don't. The faces I see here when I have my glasses on are InterPlay leaders, many of us from all over the world, including England and Amsterdam, right across the US. So great to see you all. Thank you. So I'd like to get myself on, invite you just to take a word or two and put it in the chat box right now, just anything you're noticing from having moved and breathed a little bit, anything you're valuing or wanting to affirm right now. Again, you find the chat box icon in the middle center of your thing.
Cynthia, how can I get to see the, never mind, I got my answer.
Thank you. Yeah, ask Ignati or Nancy for support things privately. And the way that you do that, if you want to talk to somebody specifically on Zoom, you go to where it says everyone on that chat place, and there's a tiny little arrow. You click on it and it'll create a drop-down menu. And then you'll see the list of all of the people that are here. You click on their name and then you'll be able to chat with them privately. And they'll chat back privately. The only thing is you have to remember that you're chatting privately. If you want to be back in the group, you have to click back to everyone. So that's a lovely thing. The chat box is really a great place for noticings when you have groups. Sometimes you just want spaciousness and stillness. You don't always need to have a lot of people talking. So being able to use the the chat box is one beautiful way. You can ask for one-sentence stories, or you can ask for a series of one-sentence stories, or I could talk abouts. You could use the chat box for, you know, just taking time out. People can write someplace else if you're in more of a retreat setting, and put things in. There's a little file function there you can upload there. So there's wonderful ways to use this. It's not just passing notes, but you should also feel, if you're one of those kind of swingy, happy connector people, it's really lovely to have people just putting in hello and, you know, hi Pat, it's great to see you online. I'm so happy you're here, to see your face, because these are often folks that we don't get to connect with very much. So having the little gestures of connection is sweet. We need the affection now more than ever. So don't be afraid to say hello to someone personally, or whatever, you know. To me personally, when you're leading a large group like this, it'll be pretty hard for you to track. So one of the things that you'll want to do is to have some support, some helpers. You know, this, it's if you're new at leading this, I mean, this is even a lot for me, you know, and I'm pretty comfortable with the format, but it's a new form, kind of like, you know, like if you were leading InterPlay with a group of 10 people, and then suddenly you were going to be leading for, you know, 50. That would be a kind of a shift in how you might do things, but pretty much the forms they stay the same. So that's really good. So yeah, thank you for all of the noticing. I'm seeing things like noticing heart connections, respect, and room for each other. Scared, but in companionship is better. Nervous system out of alarm. Yeah, more settled. Yeah. Grand and purposeful. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful noticings. Let's take a deep breath. The way that I've been able to share what quality in my sound is available, and you're hearing it, is through the share button on my computer in this Zoom, that allows me to go to inside the share to allow documents to be shared, my screen to be shared, and in the advanced function, the sound from my computer to be shared. And the Zoom document that I sent out through the Google Docs actually should have you show some of these things, but I'm going to share that with you now. And I'm also going to be sharing with you, oh, thanks, Anita. I don't think I want you to do screen sharing right now. Anita, can you go off of your screen? There you go, stop. It's the red button called Stop Share. Thank you. Good try, though. That was great, leading by example. Yeah, let me go back to gallery view. All right. Sorry. Phone ringing in the office. I'm going to be sharing with you the sound thing. I'm going to share with you how to move into breakout rooms and couples. You won't be doing, you'll be experiencing this. You won't so much be leading it here, right? So we'll hopefully be giving you enough description of this in the written documents, or if you need extra help on this, we can figure out how to co-mentor each other, all right? And what else am I going to be sharing with you? Some sort of best practices, and we're continually pulling these things together and learning about how to do this, especially in this embodied format. Okay, so I think the next thing that I want to show you is a screen. This is in the document. If you haven't received the documents that I've been sending out that are now on Google Docs, the InterPlay Zoom Leader Tips, or will be a compendium of InterPlay best practices and activities that we can hopefully all add to. If I get that figured out, I'm sure my team is going to get me all straightened out on how to do that. Let me see if I can. Oh. Open my document here on my screen. And I'm going to be showing you what the controls are on your Zoom. This cannot be opened. Sorry. All right. Okay. This is this beautiful document. Let me find my share button. Okay. How about that? Can you see that? We're good? All right, so talk to Nancy and Ignati, and Nancy and Ignati, I'm going to be looking for your messages to me on my phone since I can't read the text box right now. This is a beautiful piece that was created by Viola and Amy, who I believe are in the Chicago area. So yay for Chicago! They're assuring us that relax, it's going to be fun. Let's become friends with technology. And they have given permission to have this shared widely. So this is a great Zoom participant guide that you can share with people going into rooms like this. These are the things that you need to know. So here is what Zoom looks like in the speaker view, and you've been seeing me do that. You can see my cursor, I think, on the screen. This is the Zoom toolbar at the bottom where most of your controls will be. And when you want to toggle into the gallery view, as I said, that's up here. You get a choice to toggle between these two views. So here's the Zoom toolbar again. Next to the mute button over here all the way to my left is a little arrow, and there's some possibilities for controlling your audio and your video right there on those two toggles. They have important roles. There's a screen share in the middle, and it's your screen sharing should not be happening as a participant unless you've been invited. And then the leave meeting button when you need to go is all the way to your right. And I know some of you may not be able to stay for this whole meeting. I'm planning to go till 1:30 because there's that much, but you can leave ahead of time, and I am recording this. And if you want to stay a little bit after too, I can answer some more specific questions about things that I've learned about leading in different contexts with this format. So around the audio, once you've muted it, it should have a red slash, right? And when the drop-down menu happens, you get these different choices, and you should just probably leave it in the default position. You shouldn't need to open that. Same with the video. However, some people are so clever. I had a woman in her 70s come on with Zoom learning how to do this a week or so ago. And because she has a brand new computer, she could choose, you can see in that black box there, choose a virtual background. You can choose a virtual background. You can have the stars and the heavens behind your head. I mean, it's really cool. You know, she was in outer space. And she was that way the whole time. And then there's two more features. We mentioned the chat box, the chat icon. This is at the bottom of your screen. And it shows you right here that you're going to type at the bottom and hopefully to everyone. And then once you hit the return button, the chat will go up to the top of your screen. I don't use the raising hand function very much in InterPlay. I mostly just have people wave their hands or put things in the chat box when they want to speak to me, because my groups tend to be smaller. If we had larger rooms, we would want to learn how to use the raising hand thing. But as a leader, you know, it's a lot for me to pay attention to. As you can imagine, your sensors are probably right now going, oh my gosh, you know, how is she doing this, right? So you really want to narrow the opportunities. This is one of the reasons why I think a lot of people just do head teaching. You know, they don't want to play with sound. They don't want to play with toggling back and forth, right? So I think we can do a few behaviors. It's kind of like learning how to drive a car. And once you know those, you really can do quite a lot with this format. They often suggest to close everything on your computer that you don't need. Right now, I will say I've got my browser up and my, you know, and all. I don't use headphones, and I'm often doing this where there's nobody else in the office or in another space. So if you don't want other people to hear, that's a good reason for headphones. But unless you're having some kind of sound quality issue, you shouldn't need headphones. Yeah, you can always communicate to whoever's hosting the meeting through the chat box, and there's ways to adjust your viewing. The Zoom people are really great, and you are able to go to Zoom anytime and ask them for help and tools. We found out that there's just really great simple videos for us to be able to get help and support and learn about this format. Yeah, so that's the kind of basic thing, and there's a link to that document in your Zoom tips online. What's that? So I sent that out, and I'll keep sending it out over and over again, or you can ask me very directly in an email and I'll give you anything you want. That's what I like to do. So yeah, I would love for you all just to bring yourself, let me see if I can help you do this. I'm gonna unmute you for a second just so we can hear ourselves breathe. If I hear sound, that's good. I can hear everybody, the breathing body. Deep breath. Okay, so we take all this around. We're going to just give each other a little gentle morning. Hello, Manomi Shika. Sole.
Lama ko Julia.
I'm in the Brady Bunch.
Oh, Samaya. One more deep breath. There they went. Yeah. You know, something, I've been having a big initiation around fear and anxiety the last few years, more around personal stuff. And I'm so grateful for the people that are teaching me and guiding me, including this woman who's teaching any emotion about the Enneagram and the body, right? And one of the things that I'm so grateful to realize through my body data knowledge and wisdom is that fear and anxiety and terror, which are kind of like in a continuum of sensations, these are, of course, natural experiences. And we are living in a collective scenario with a lot of change. So it's in the field, and we're not probably going to be able to completely boundary that off. for a time. My naturopath said maybe 60% of what we're experiencing is actually in the collective field, which is quite a bit more than who I think I am, right? So to be really understanding, oh my gosh, this is a group body reality. People will have different body data, but it's a full-on thing. So, you know, in some wisdoms, there's a coil of energy at the base of the spine. And when it gets invigorated and connects up here, whoop, you know, the systems start to come online. So I learned that I can actually, instead of trying to exform my anxiety or the anxiety, which one will not really be able to do continuously, I can let my energy, whatever the energy is, come up and out and through. So really for me, it's like, whew, and I might even say, I'm free to let my energy move up and out and through. So I don't know if you would like to or need to just move a little bit of your energy for your own body-wise self right now. Instead of trying to strangle your fear or anxiety or boundary it off or separate, to breathe and whoosh, be in your own center, moving your energy up and out and through and letting it really vitalize you. Whoosh. And when you feel ready, whoosh, coming back to stillness. Yeah, taking a deep breath. I'm sure that we'll have lots of different wisdoms about that. This is just mine, out of my own study and experience, and I hope that we can be sharing those wisdoms in a variety of ways. So many techniques, so many practices. I'm grateful that we are all engaged in our body wisdom. I'm going to move us now to our Zoom sound stuff. Let me go find the document that has that. Zoom sound quality. Bring this up. I'm going to make it big. I learned that yesterday, how to make it bigger. And that's too big. Okay, we'll try for that. This is a document that I have that I can also send to you as a separate document. It's simple. Just moving my things around on my desktop so I can see it clearly myself. So to improve the sound quality for others, on the bottom of your screen, you find that share button down here at the bottom. And when you click on that, it opens up to the basic function. This is what I've used to click on to find my documents, which I have both open and not open. And then once you're not going to click on any of that basic stuff, instead you're going to go to the advanced tab. Hopefully you'll be able to find that. You will if you are using the 1499 version, I believe. I hope that's true. Let me know if it's not so I can correct myself. Once you open that, click on the, go back here. Once you open on that and you click share, you will be in your screen and you will be able to share, you'll go to your music and just start playing your music and the sound will communicate from your computer. This is just a reminder of how you go to the chat button. You go to the chat button, you put it in the bottom, and you write your chat in. And this we'll use in a minute to look at how we'll do the breakout rooms. So I'm going to stop this share and just come back to you for a moment. And let me just see if you have any, if we have any questions. Yes, they are. Gretchen, actually, these documents are going into a Google Doc and will go eventually here in a minute when I get that one step done into into a folder, yeah, so that people can work on them and share them. Some of them I could use a little help, Agnati, from you, just to make sure that everything is shareable. Yeah. Yes, so once you've got the share button on, you will be able to go into your music, and you will be able to click on a piece of music, of any music that you've opened in your iTunes or on your desktop, and you'll be able to play any selection of music, as you heard me do. By the way, that was Michael Hedges' Aerial Boundaries, and I think this is such a great opportunity to share the artists when we're in this format. Oops, I shared that privately. Let me take that back to everyone. Okay. Are there just any questions? When you open the document that I've sent out in the Google Docs that I've sent you the links to, if you haven't got that, please again put your email in the chat box so I can send it to you. You can you'll see a bunch of ways that I'm answering some of the questions, so you can both speak and play your music at the same time. Could you hear me when I was playing my music? Yeah, right. So you can do that. So it's just like having music in the room. It's just that the sound quality is improved. Yeah, it should be simple. To just use your sound. I do have to, kind of like when I'm leading a class, I have to kind of DJ, making it quiet, making it longer. Oh, I'm running out of music, you know. So all of those fun behaviors if you're leading a class. For those of you who are live musicians, I'll just add here, what I've learned is that, first of all, Zoom is not good for syncing up voices, and I'm going to just demonstrate this. Unmuting all. I'm going to unspotlight myself. I can. Where am I? Yeah. So here we all are, and we're going to sing "Row, Row, Row Your Boat" together. Are you ready? Okay. Life is but a dream. Okay. I'll start. We'll sing together. Now, first of all, take a deep breath.
Gently down the stream.
Merrily,
Merrily, like a dream.
Right? So, yeah. Unfortunately, we can't really sync up voices in this format. So if you have a solo instrument or you are a singer, it can work. So I'll just sing, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. You could also, if you're wanting to have singing in a group, play a recording that has the song with people singing on it, and then then everybody can sing along to the recording with everybody on mute, and you'll be able to simulate the experience of group singing. But Zoom is not good for choral singing, so I don't know what those of you who are in choirs are going to do these days. Maybe there'll be something tricky. Maybe somebody will create an app just for choirs. I don't know. But yeah, that's also, I limit the amount of collective audio sound from, except for when I'm in a small group, because I'm audioly sensitive, like to the nth degree. So too much sound for me is actually overstimulating. But for you all might want to just be in a room full of sounds all the time. And so you'll be able to measure how to do that. Yeah, I don't know, Connie, about or doing duets with piano students, how that's working. I do know some people are working now on teaching their lessons online. Okay, I'm going to switch us over to some online groups. So you will, let me just show you very quickly what this looks like. to share this document with you again. So for me, on the bottom of my screen, you can see down here, there's an option for a breakout room. And when I click on that, I get a screen in the middle of mine that will allow me to assign 0 participants into one room, since nobody was on this meeting with me. Or it will say, in this case, we've got 32 participants into, and I will select however many rooms. And then it will allow me just to do that automatically. So kind of like finding a partner without knowing who they're going to be. I can get people into 2s or 3s or whatever math I want, or I can do it manually. So I can literally select people to go into rooms. And what I'm going to do right now is assign you to go into a pair and to say hello to somebody and to do a little series of I could talk abouts. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Say who you are, say where you live. I'll put this, Nancy, can you put this in the chat box for me? Going to say who you are, where you live, introduce yourselves, and then you're going to just go back and forth and just say things that you could talk about. We'll do that for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to give you a little warning through my ability on this side to say you're going to be coming back in 60 seconds, and then you'll be brought right back into the room. So a weird and wonderful thing about this is the magic of leaving the room and entering another room. So it's not like going off into your own little space in one room. It's really like another room. So you see the assignment there, and I'm gonna put you in some breakout rooms right now. Let's see. Half of 31 is like 15 or something.
15 and a half.
15 and a half. So I'll have to figure out, it's 2 or 3 persons per room. We'll see what happens. Okay, this is exciting. Goodbye. Let's see. Okay. Then Sun has moved. Hi. There you go. Oh, Diane, you're back.
I don't have a partner.
Yeah.
I'm the only participant.
Okay, why don't you and Diane and Lin Sun, can you come on visually into this main room?
I'm on with you.
I understand, but there's also Lin Sun, if you see her name on the screen there.
I see her name.
Okay. Well, we'll just do this back and forth, you and me.
Okay.
Yay!
It's like one participant.
I know, right?
I like waved to myself.
Let's take a deep breath. I just need it.
Oh yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Google is right.
Where are you?
Oh.
Where are you?
Where am I? I'm in my quote yoga room.
Okay.
Yeah, which I haven't done much yoga recently, but I think I will be doing that a lot more. So with a little wind chime that was given by my students. So
Really good to see you. Yeah. And you are out of the building.
Yeah. Been out of the building for, yeah, it's been a whirlwind. I got my auditions done last Wednesday, and then all hell broke loose.
Wow.
Thursday, okay, no one's staying after school. Friday, we're gonna have a staff meeting, and then we're gonna have a meeting for everybody.
Hi, Lin Sun. Hang on a second, Diane.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Lin Sun? You're on mute. Can you unmute yourself? Yay! There you go. I'm going to, I don't know if I should assign you. I think I'll just go off and maybe I'll have you two meet each other. Are you? Oh, wait a minute. It sounds like you're kind of breaking up. Can you hear me okay?
I can't hear her.
Oh, it sounds like.
Yeah. I can't hear you. So, no.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, hello.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mute you since, hang on a second. Yeah, let's take a deep breath as we come back to this room. Welcome back, everybody. I've turned the audio on because I do like to hear everybody's breath. I feel like the organic sense that we're bodies together is needed. So thank you so much for breathing and being and flipping in interesting ways. Yeah. One of the things that we learn in leading Zoom online is that when we're in these configurations, even 5 or 6 people, if I ask people for noticing just randomly, it will be very much more difficult for people to speak up because we're not used to being in screen forms and coming forward. It's almost like a filter, which is good if you're sensitive because it gives you an extra layer. A lot of people are learning, oh, I kind of like that. I'm gonna mute everybody right now so we don't get the echo. But I would really like to just randomly call on a couple of you just to see anything that you're noticing I could talk about, and if you don't want to notice, you can just wave your hand, shake your head, say no, and then I'll ask somebody else. So feel free to say no. And I'll just start with Bobby. Can you unmute yourself? Bobby Stormont from the UK.
Yeah, I noticed just such an easy connection. It was really beautiful. It was just wonderful. Yeah, it was great connection. Yeah.
Thank you. Beautiful. Yay. Come back to the whole group here. Yeah, Suzanne Mulcahy. I didn't know if you all know that Suzanne was one of our first board presidents, so it's really great. I'm so glad you're here, and I know that you're doing such great work in the world right now. So, yeah.
So good to
How
be
are you
here.
doing?
Thank you.
And what did you notice?
Doing beautifully, and noticed that the opportunity to shift off the big group and just connect with one person. And I happen to know Sherry, so we haven't seen each other in a long time, but it was really a sweet reconnect. And really noticing how that particular form works so well in this environment, this setup. So sweet and easy to kind of pop out of the group and have some one-on-one time and then go back to the group.
Yeah, thank you so much. Love that. Let me see, who else might we just connect with? Hey, Teresa, I'm seeing you and I haven't talked to you in a while. Would you unmute yourself?
Yes.
How are you and what did you notice?
I'm well, thank you. I noticed the ease of reflecting off of what each of us was saying to each other, as well as reflecting off what I was saying to myself, just the ease of reflection.
Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Teresa. Yeah. Let me just bring my spotlight back on so I can focus on just one of me. Not where am I and where are you? That's a change for me. Yeah, thank you just for those bits of noticing. So again, counterintuitively, one of the things about leading on Zoom is that instead of moving quickly from partner to partner, it's probably going to be a better place to go deeper and longer with people. Because these techno transitions on our body, just the ability to be able to do a form or even 2 forms with a partner if they know how to do that. So do some I could talk abouts and then do a DT3 back and forth. So if people know the forms, you can do that, or you can send them back to the same partner. These are ways to deepen, or do the same form 3 times with different people, or just stay longer. You know, I don't know how you felt about the I could talk abouts, but it could be that that would have been good to have go on longer. Maybe you could, let me just ask Jeff. Jeff, will you come on, and can I ask you, what do you think about how long that was? Did it feel just about right for what we're doing, or would you have liked more time?
I don't know. Can you hear me okay? By the
Yeah,
way?
perfectly.
Okay. I don't know.
Okay.
It was with somebody who I, had actually just had a conversation with. So
Okay.
I'm not certain how it would be like if I, was in a situation where it was a brand new person.
Okay.
But I can say that for the person that I was with, it was good timing for that particular exercise, but not really to go into like, hey, could you talk more about that particular thing?
Yes, great noticing. So yeah, just timing is an interesting thing to kind of learn about. And I find for myself, let me see if I can bring myself back into view and let you out of the hot seat there. Jeff, thanks for being willing to come on. Yep. All these little navigations. Yeah, I just find that it's good to, like in the dance chapel, we do a series of whole people, every person lights a candle and says something that they want to invoke. We do the warm up with a little bit of extended time. We do that one hand thing with moving and the voice. And then I bring people back together for some noticing. We might do one other practice. And then we do some, at the end, we do some dancing on behalf of one another, which takes about 15 minutes. So that's an hour long, and that's, roughly about 4 forms maximum. And we just want to really allow that, the leisure and the rest in the body, not having to rush. So, okay, I want to just answer a couple of questions about the breakout rooms. There is an option to customize who is in that room. Let me go back to sharing my screen with you, because I know that's an important question. So if you can see this, right here, there's a manual button, and when you open that, click on that. I don't have an image for that, but when you click on that button, all the participants show up, and you can assign the individuals to the rooms that you are creating. So if let's say there's 10 participants, and I want 3 people in a room. So I would put 10 participants in 3 rooms. And then manually, I would click manually, and then it would give me the people, and I would assign them to one of those 3 rooms. And obviously there would be probably a 4th person. So I would just assign them. And it's also possible for you to be able to go into those rooms yourself, right? So you can go in, you can join a room as a leader, and let's say somebody comes back to you. I think you can leave those Zoom rooms and come back and ask a question. Sometimes I have to be quite honest, I use this device when I'm trying to do more intricate things, or even if sound has become an issue for somebody they can't hear. And if I'm able, I will call, have them on text, or sometimes call them and bring them into the room through my phone audio, which is a little bit stretching it, but that can happen too. And I love things that Agnati and Nancy are sharing in there. You can pair people manually or let Zoom do it. Yeah, beautiful. So let's take a deep breath on all of that. Yeah. So I'd love to just answer some questions if I could. If anybody would like to put questions right now into the text box, we can take some Q&A and or if you have some suggestions or offers, we can do that. And if you'll, you might want to put your name or question in there, and I can see what I can do about. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to just start at the bottom from where I'm reading. Whoops, maybe I won't be able to do that. Maybe I better start at the top because they're coming in. Thanks, Gretchen, also for giving some support in here, since I know you use these formats a lot. Annie Rose is saying you can also always call into Zoom using the dial-in. That's right. You can use the phone. That way your phone, using your phone audio, but still have all the other features. Can you talk about any problems you may have heard from people who tried leading a meeting and had a slower internet connection? Good question. Yeah, sometimes that has happened to me, and it's or I've had a glitchy experience. And what I try to do during those times is make sure that I have everything closed. Close my browser. I sometimes even go to my force quit on my computer and just shut down everything that's open, and to make sure that I have as clean and clear connection as possible. I think of our computers like bodies. You and I have to stream a lot of information. It's very rich data. Well, now we're asking computers to do that. So this streaming of all this pixelated data is very, very rich. It's very demanding. I like to think also that we are sort of still in a, you know, when they invented the airplane and they were running down the hill with the thing and whoosh, and, you know, hoping to fly. We're past that, but we're not really in an airplane yet. So we're really still, a lot of us, early adapters. So you shouldn't feel too bad. If you are an online leader doing embodied practices, you're at the front of the pack right now. And all of us who are doing things that have to do with breathing and moving, you know, you're doing amazing stuff. So please don't feel like you're behind, because nobody, Wendy Morris, who is one of the leaders in our world around leadership, she uses tons of technology and is an embodied person and uses InterPlay in a personal practice, came on Tuesday, and she basically said, you guys are at the head, you're at the leading edge. And there are other groups like us, but not too many. So good for us, right? And good for you just being here. It'll take a little while for us to all feel comfortable. Will I be able to share this chat box later by email? I can. You can also literally copy and paste this, run your cursor up and select the whole thing and copy it, paste it into a document for yourself. Or you can go all the way to the right where the messages, where you're posting your chat, and there's 3 little dots. If you click on that, you'll see, and scroll down, you'll see a save chat function. So yeah, this will save to your own, all the questions, all the people will save to your own desktop. If you're leading, you'll also be able to save this recording, for instance. You'll be able to record. I believe, even invite people to record, but I generally don't do that. And mostly we don't need to have these recordings in our groups. Let's see. Do people entering on phone only, no video, get paired into breakout rooms? And can you target phone people to be paired with phone people without doing so manually? It would have to be manual, and I don't know fully, because does anybody know that and would like to come on about phone users?
Yeah.
One of the, is somebody coming on?
It was me, Agnati. Yeah, I believe so, that you can do like what Cynthia said. They can get put in breakout sessions or breakout rooms. But yes, you would have to do every single one manually. You can't just like do the phone people manually and then everyone else automatically. So, and that's fine. That's an extra step, and it might be a good idea to put the phone people together manually, and then you can do everyone else.
Great. Thanks. Yeah. Beautiful. If you're leading on in a Zoom meeting and people come in on the phone, it's possible for me to go in as the leader and rename them. So for instance, let me just see if anybody is on the phone here. I think everybody's actually visual at this point. I don't see any people on the phone only. Yeah, so it is possible though. You just go to their box, like the box of where they're showing up. And as the leader, I can change their phone number to their name. So if I'm in a meeting with them, I know who I'm talking to or who I'm calling, and so can the rest of people in the group. Gretchen is mentioning that if you make someone else a host, they can prepare the breakouts manually. Nice to have a co-facilitator. Great reiterating that. So true. Nancy and I do lead these groups of anywhere from 5 to 12 people in these dance chapels without co-facilitation, and we feel pretty comfortable at that at this point. And I think people would have different levels of comfort, but I think having partners and just taking your time, that's one of the great body wisdom secrets, just take your time. Do you ever mention the opposite of recording, as with having a sacred space and making a request that people don't record and also don't record as a leader? That's a beautiful comment, Jeff. I only record sort of intimate spaces through request, you know, and the times when I've done that have been primarily when we're doing a dance on behalf of the world or somebody in the group that might not be there. And it's really nice to be able to send them that recording. So it's kind of like a gift, right, to have that. And mostly, I feel like our live rooms in buildings, we will probably be attracting not huge crowds, but right-sized crowds for us according to, you know, our abilities and interests. So it's probably going to be, you know, right-sized, and we'll know exactly the spirit in which we're to be leading. Yeah, let me share with you. I'm seeing a couple of other tricks on here, and here's a really good one. If you go into the corner of your box, the top right corner, do you see where the word mute pops up in the box actually? And to the right of that are 3 dots. Click on the dots, and you'll see a drop-down menu. This is in the right corner of your personal little box on the screen. You'll see that you can actually control your video and your audio from your screen. Pinning it means that you're always going to have it there. I could cancel my spotlight video, but if I go, I can rename myself. In fact, I think I will. I think I will rename myself. Yay! And you can also hide yourself. So when you hide your self view, you're no longer going to be looking at yourself, right? And that's kind of nice. Some people get sort of obsessed by seeing themselves and distracted by what you look like, or you get into your performer, so you can let that go. But then how do you get back out? You can't see yourself. So here's the trick. You go into somebody else's box, into their top right corner, and you go all the way to the bottom and you show yourself through somebody else. I love that. I don't know why that's that's such an interesting trick, but yeah, that's a handy thing to know. And Suzanne, you were mentioning, let's see if I can come back up here. Can the leader send a group chat while people are in separate rooms and invite them to another exercise? Yes, Meg, you can. So I mentioned, I sent a message, I broadcasted a message to you that you'll be coming back soon, and then the meeting started to close. I don't know if you saw it, but yes, you can broadcast messages to everybody in groups. It's made me a little bit nervous to be sending too many messages to people I can't see. So I haven't done a lot of that. I tend to bring people back and want to know how people are doing. Lots of good suggestions here. So yes, I will go through this document also and edit it and send it. From the group that I did on Tuesday, a lot of folks were making suggestions and asking questions, and I gathered that data into the Google Doc and put frequently asked questions, and then below that started lining out what we know about how to do that. And then I had created a separate document called the InterPlay Online Compendium of Activities and Adaptations. So we'll be learning about ways to play, best practices, and also this might be a good time to share if you a Google Doc to share if you're leading groups or whatever. I would love to invite any of you who are inspired to please, if you feel like that you might be leading a regular group or a one-time workshop anywhere, and you're an InterPlay leader, to please know that we would love to support that and to share information about that, because one of the cool things is that people don't have to, be in your area. So Sophie Schultz-Allen in Germany was so excited on Tuesday that she can now open up a room. She's a beautiful millennial leader with such great body wisdom, and that class can be open to anybody that can access it through the right time zone. Right? That is an issue. Our InterPlay Australia leaders will probably be able to attend things that happen in the evening, and our InterPlay UK and Europe leaders are probably going to be able to attend things that are happening more towards morning or noon. And India is pretty tricky for the time zone, so we're kind of trying to sort that out. Our Canadian leaders, Natalie Abdu and Rahana, Natalie led on Tuesday night, and I think that might be happening in a consistent way. If you think you're a leader and you want specifically to have this be a body wisdom event and to get support through us, talk to us. We're looking for people to make some offerings regularly. And if you need or want the kind of support that we can offer in terms of being on the Body Wisdom Zoom link and using our Zoom platform, we're open to putting you into a calendar or doing it that way. A question, I'm not reading everybody's chat, I'm just trying to remember some of the things that were brought up on Tuesday. If you are teaching classes, I know I'm able to be generous and be offering these things because I'm paid by Body Wisdom at this point, but please do, as Jennifer Denning was encouraging us, create a way for yourself to be paid. Get a PayPal account. You can just get a simple PayPal link and you'll be able to, have people send you money through Venmo, which is free. PayPal takes money from you to do every transaction, Venmo or Zelle. These online platforms are very workable, functional, and pretty easy for people to use. So continue to do what you need to do to take care of yourself financially. And yeah, don't undercharge, right? Just try to keep yourself thinking about yourself and your own care and needs during this time as well. So you know, there is in the Google Doc also some suggestions about a scheduler. If you are having more connections with people, I recently moved myself onto a scheduling app. So I send a link to people and they can schedule appointments with me. If you are having a lot of one-on-one engagement through body work, through, you know, through some kind of appointments that you offer or do service with, or consulting of some kind, you know, that's a good thing to get yourself to use one of those tools as well. Let's see. I think we're at 1:30, so I think we should take a deep breath. And let's do that now. I like what Janice is doing. Let's yawn too. Ah, right? Oh, shaking that around.
Hey, can we hear each other? Because the sound is really healing to hear
You
people.
bet. Yeah, I'm going to bring people back into the sound space. So I'd like to just propose that we close with a hand dance, and that we just bring to mind gratitudes for the people that are on our team that are supporting us spiritually. Yeah, bringing who have been supporting us from beyond, from the land, and from our ancestors, and for the deep physicality of grace that we're all drawn to, however we name that. So bringing one hand into the air. Moving your hands slow and smooth. And smooth and fast. And moving hand in a jerky way. And jerky and slow.
Decided to be happy. I've decided to be glad. I've decided to be grateful for all I ever had. I've decided to let go of all this pain tonight. I've decided to let go of all these demons inside. I know I am blessed. I know all I ever wanted was this. I know I don't need more. I've got what I came for. I've decided to be open to that little voice inside, telling me I'm beautiful. It's okay to be alive. I've decided to be kinder to myself when I feel sad. I've decided to be grateful for all I ever had. I know I am blessed.
giving a hand to one another. Just also mindful of, you know, the lack in those words for those of us who are really in suffering, and bringing our attention and presence to the complexity of our lives and our intersections, our truths, and the justice and injustice which shows up sometimes even more in times like these. Blessings for our movement, for our body wisdom, and for our leadership as we try to figure out how to, in this paradigm changing time, really, you know, be part of a new way. It's possible when everything is different in the whole world. Let the body wisdom rise. Thank you so much. I will be happy to stay on and just chat with anybody who wants to talk personally or have other questions, and happy to release people back to your shelter.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank
Don't
you.
forget, you can
Thank
touch your body, just don't touch your face. If you touch your face, you get an onion, put onion on your hands, and then you won't touch your face.
Thank you so much. That was excellently beautiful.
Thank you, beautiful people. Diane, Janice, Nancy, Suzanne, Sherry, Spruce, Hannah, Ignati,
I see Teresa's little girl down there.
Sarah, Caroline.
I see the top of her head.
Cal, Nita, Jeff. If there's anything that,
for a little bit.
Say what?
I'm hanging out for a little bit.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah.
I have to send a quick text.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I think I was curious if Caroline, I mean, Caroline has a lot of experience with this in a very, I don't know if Caroline has some thoughts maybe about her experiences.
With,
I don't know,
I'm
just
having a moment right now. I don't know if you've noticed. I'm having a moment there